Hello and welcome to Public Report. I'm your host, Desiree Horde. Our guest today in the studio is Tonette Walker. She's the First Lady of the state of Wisconsin. Our issue is health and our topic is wellness. First Lady, it's so nice to have you on the program today.
Glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, we're glad you're here. Why don't you start off telling us a little bit about yourself and also your position as Wisconsin's First Lady?
Well, I obviously, first and foremost, is the mother of two sons and the wife of the governor. So that's a big chunk of who I am. But I also work for the American Lung Association. I am still working for them, working on their O2 oxygen ball. And then, of course, I have quite a few initiatives that keep me busy as First Lady.
Why did Governor Walker and yourself proclaim this year as the Year of Well-Being?
Yeah, we kind of took a look at what could we do for all of the state of Wisconsin. I believe the first year that Scott was elected, we actually took on the Year of the Veteran, which we enjoyed loving doing all that. But this year we decided to focus on health. I think both of us had our own goals and thought, well, we might as well get the rest of the state working with us on that. So we've enjoyed it. We've asked Wisconsin citizens to be active, to be informed, to be part of the community, and be connected to the community.
So are those the four main areas of focus that you're focusing on?
They are. We started out with being active in January last year, and so we thought that that's an easy one, easy to do. We asked them then the next quarter to be connected to the community, and that's just, you know, talking to your neighbor, going to church, being part of the social events that are up and coming in your area or in your neighborhood. We ask people to be informed, to know their numbers. People don't know their numbers all the time. Sometimes we leave the doctor's office thinking that we know our numbers, and then we don't. And then at the end, we hope that everyone will be part of their community by giving back in some way, by donating a coat, a food drive. We do a food drive at the executive residence. We do the great big bundle up for the Department of Tourism. So we thought that could fit just about any age and any group.
How are you encouraging people to be active and to move? I know you mentioned that's real easy to do, so how do you encourage people to do that?
Yeah, I say it's easy to do, but even with myself, it's hard for me to get. As soon as I get up and I get moving, I'm fine, but it's the getting up part that's hard. So we just ask people to get a buddy and walk. Join me on my Walk with Walkers, one of my initiatives. Do something active with the kids at night instead of going in front of the TV set, maybe put on a dance video and dance at home. So it's nothing that is hard to do. It's just that it takes a little bit of motivation to get going.
Absolutely. Now you mentioned the Walk with Walker events. How have those helped to promote physical activity? What does that entail?
The Walk with Walker is a wonderful event for anyone of any age. We have kids in strollers, and we have the elderly with canes and walkers and walking sticks. And we try to do a 2-mile walk that's fairly easy, but you can walk at your own pace, which is so nice because we have people who it might take them a little bit longer to get done, but they get the same benefit of walking with us. And the best thing about Walk with Walker, we've picked trails that are all free. Doesn't cost any money to walk, and they're all trails that maybe you might not have been on, that you might not have thought of, and they're all over the state, and it's a wonderful, wonderful initiative that I have.
And what kind of response have you gotten back from the people that actually participate?
Well, I always get a note back afterwards thanking me for being in their area and for really coming out and getting them moving. And they tell me stories about how they continued to walk, that they brought their family back there, they've brought their children back there. So it's been wonderful.
Anna, we were talking about the importance of being active, but what about our need to consider eating and nutritional habits?
Mm-hmm. Personally, myself, I'm a stress eater. So when things get stressful, I want to eat. I've tried to, this year, think of other ways to not go for that snack food or that candy bar. So I've, personally myself, I've picked fruit instead, which I'm not it's not in my wheelhouse. I usually want that candy bar. And so we've also, Scott and I have been able to tour companies who've put fruit baskets in their break rooms instead of the candy machines, and have offered fruit to people. And so, you know, everyone has to find their own thing. Another trick that I use, I always, I'll do the 3-bite thing. So if the cheesecake is in front of me and I want the cheesecake, and I know I'm either going to eat the whole cheesecake, or I'm going to try not to eat any, and then my willpower is gone, I'll do the 3 bites of cheesecake and then I'm done. Or 3 bites of something that I know that's not really good for me. So.
And how important is it for Wisconsinites to become informed about their health? I know you mentioned even earlier about knowing our numbers, and sometimes we think we do and we don't. So how important is it to just be informed about our health?
Well, I think our health probably plays the biggest part on how we feel emotionally, and then that kind of trickles down to our job and our children and the things that we have to get done if we can motivate ourselves. So I think really, you know, there's so much out there about what's good for us that even if we just pick a little bit here and there, make a few small changes, that's what I've done. I haven't made some major changes, but I've been able to change a few things in my life. But, you know, it's so important because it does translate to everything we do. How we raise our children, how we react to our children. If I have diabetes, so if my blood sugar's high, sometimes I'm not so nice and I'm kind of crabby at home. So if I know my numbers and I know what I'm eating and putting in my body, you know, it translates, and with the job that I have and Scott have, if we're not doing things to keep ourselves fit and happy, it's hard to do the job that we have in front of us.
Right. And how important do you feel it is to incorporate a healthy lifestyle even with your children? You know, we mentioned children, just as a whole family.
I think my children have really grown up with a good, strong background of what's really good for you. Now, will they always make the right choices? I hope so, but they won't. If they don't, I know that they can get on track, and they know how important fitness is, and the healthy snacks, and what things are good for them. And they do a really good job at it. And I think the schools did a really good job on it. Growing up in Wauwatosa, I think they had a lot of classes that, you know, kind of told them what was good and what was not good, and teachers who made good choices. So we were very fortunate.
How important is it to also promote emotional well-being?
Yeah, that's, of course, again, one of those top priorities, because emotionally, if you're not feeling strong, and especially these winters can be hard on you. And so I know, you know, meditation is good, a little deep breathing, a little kind of just taking a little time in the morning. Devotional, my devotional is key for me. I start my day out with that, and so for me, I just need those few minutes to just sit and breathe and relax and kind of get my emotional psyche kind of ready for the day. So it is. I imagine that so stressful. Life is so stressful now that anything we can do to kind of promote good thinking and good thought process is probably a good thing.
Is there a connection between the well-being of citizens and them living successful lives?
I personally think that it has to go hand in hand. I think good health probably relates to whether you really like your job or not, if you're happy at your place of employment, and so I can't imagine that a little bit of all of the things that we've talked about, good emotional health, good eating, a little bit of exercise. I don't think you have to be extreme on any of them. I just think a little bit of that, you know, if you just add a little change as you go along and kind of bring all those things together, has got to translate to a better kind of lifestyle for yourself, and a better feeling about your job and your family and those kinds of things.
Now, when you've been on some of these walks throughout the state, have you noticed that families really are getting on board with actually coming out together and trying to be active as a family?
We do have a lot of families, a lot of children walking with us, and so I guess in general, I can't just say the walk, but just in general, I think people are more conscious of it, more aware of just a slight change, how better you feel if you just do a slight change.
And then how important would you say, again, maybe just to even reiterate, how important is it for us to start thinking about our wellness and just how important that is in our lives?
Yeah, I feel like I might be starting a little late in that, but what I hear is that it's never too late. And so if we can get our children thinking the right way when they're young, and then as they grow on to be adults and they have their own families, I think that we can probably kind of change the way people think about good health.
Now, one other thing I'm thinking about is we're kind of in the winter season here. Any ideas of how we can maybe stay active in order to keep up a healthy lifestyle during the winter months when it's very cold outside?
Yeah, that is a challenge here in Milwaukee or in Wisconsin. And so I think that we could probably, of course, utilize our malls. They're always open and available to us. I know that some of the outdoor sports are wonderful, the snowshoeing and the cross-country skiing. I'm going to be doing a Walk with Walker indoors at Lake Lawn Lodge in January 18th, and you can find that information out on my website. And then, you know, I love the videotapes. I love putting them in for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and kind of working out to the, I think You Can Dance video is one of my favorites. I do a kickboxing one that I do, which is great. It's 3 10-minute short segments of kickboxing. So I think those are nice to have around, and you can do those indoors and no one has to see you. You don't have to go off to the gym. You don't have to get made up to go to the gym. So
no excuses,
yeah,
right?
there's no excuse. You're right.
Wonderful. Well, First Lady Tonette, it's been a wonderful pleasure speaking with you today. I thank you so much for being on the program today.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've been speaking with Tonette Walker. She's the First Lady of the state of Wisconsin. Our issue has been health and our topic, wellness. Thank you for viewing Public Report.